Hello, everyone. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards, and I don't think I have my light quite right, but you have that. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. So we are just going to turn that one light off, and it may not be as bright, but at least it'll be a little bit better. So welcome, glad you're here. As you jump on, please say hello and let me know where you are watching from. I have a quick and easy card today. It's going to be a Christmas card. And if you see the word live up in the corner, then you know you're watching this live. Otherwise, you're watching the replay. And I am on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And today is Tuesday, October 12th. And again, I have a quick and easy Christmas card using the stamp set Evergreen Elegance. And I want to give a shout out to Brandy Cox because I am casing or copying her layout from her live that she did on Friday, October 8th. So if you haven't watched her video on YouTube, you definitely want to go over and watch that. Hi, Jenny. I'm glad to see you. Yes, it's going to be quick and easy. And, you know, December is sneaking up on us, and we all like to relax and have a good time and enjoy the holidays. So even though it's October, we need to be thinking about making some quick Christmas cards now so we can relax and have a stress-free holiday. So if you're new here or haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing by clicking that subscribe button. And if you like the card today, give me a thumbs up. And if you're on Facebook, please follow me and give me a like on there. It helps me to bring my videos to you to give you card ideas. And as you jump on, please say hi. Well, it's time for prizes. So I want to give the prizes from last week. Actually, it's the week before that, but the last time I was on live. So congratulations to Jeannie Smith for being the winner of the random drawing for leaving a comment on my last live. You will receive this package of dimensionals as well as the card that I made during my live. And I do not have your address, so please email me at rusticbarncards@gmail.com. And I'll have the information in the video below in the description after the video. And congratulations to the winner of the random drawing for sharing my video. Congratulations, Maria Robinson. You have won a package of rhinestone basic jewels, and I do have your address, so that will go out in the mail to you tomorrow. And congratulations for a random drawing for those of you that placed an order with me. So congratulations, Janet Turner from Iowa, who placed an order with me, and you were the winner of the random drawing. And I do have your address, so that will go out in the mail tomorrow. Well, for today's live, I'm going to give away prizes, but remember, you do need to live in the United States in order to for me to send you the prize. But I appreciate all of you that watch me from other countries, and please go ahead and comment and say hi. But for leaving a comment today, I'm going to have a random drawing, and it's not just today, so it's for all week. So leave a comment if you're watching the replay, leave a comment if you're watching live, and you'll be in the random drawing for the card that I make today. So one person will receive the card that I make today. And then if you please share my video, for those of you that share my video, your name will go in a random drawing for a roll of this bumblebee ribbon for sharing my video. And those of you that place an order with me today through Monday, October 18th, you'll be in a random drawing for the Flowers for Every Season Memories and More card pack. All right, so I think that we are going to be ready to start doing some stamping, because that is what you're here for, right? And I am going to, we are going to figure out, there we are. And okay, so we are going to do a little stamping today. And like I said, this is going to be a quick card, and you can actually use this layout with any stamp set that you have. And I want to make it so I can see your comments, and I think I have that. So Evergreen Elegance is a stamp set we're going to use. We're going to use this pine tree, Merry Christmas sentiment, and then these little pine, maybe kind of like part of a wreath of these pine needles. And then down here could be, it could be, I don't know, I think it could be water, it could be dirt, it could be just the pine needle. So it's kind of whatever you want it to be, but that's what we're going to use today. So I'm going to lay that aside, and we're going to be using Granny Apple Green ink, Cajun Craze, Evening Evergreen, and Real Red. So those are the ink colors. And then I'm going to show you a little trick. Now you may already know this trick, but this is a way that you can make 2 card bases at the same time. So you'll take, I'm using thick basic white cardstock, and this is 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to place it in my trimmer, and I'm going to, so the 11 is going down this way, and the 8.5 is across. So I'm going to place it at 4 1/4 on my trimmer. And then I'm going to be using the score blade, which is the lighter blade. And I keep mine at the bottom of my trimmer, but I know some of you keep it at the top. So it's whatever works for you. But I'm just scoring this, the entire cardstock. Then I'm going to turn my cardstock. And now I'm going to place it at 5 1/2, which is half of 11. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the cutting blade. And now I have 2 card bases, but they're also both scored. So they are scored and ready to use. So let me lay that aside. Before we start our card, I want to just real quickly let you know that when you place a minimum $30 order with me and use the host code between now and October 22nd, you will receive a free card kit and a small gift from me, and enough cardstock to make 3 cards, one of each of these 3 designs. And I have more information at rusticbarncards.com. So we're going to bring in our cardstock. And I'm going to start with Granny Apple Green, and this is cut at 2 1/4, and you only need 5 1/2, but I went ahead and did 2 1/4 by 5 3/4. That way, when you put it on your card, it is going to be a little extra. You can trim that, and then that way you know that you have enough. I don't know if you've ever did it exactly, and then somehow it seems like you have just a little bit of white showing on your card base. So this way you can eliminate that. And then I'm going to bring in Evening Evergreen, and this is Granny Apple Green cardstock. And we are going to make our own designer series paper. And so I'm going to bring in this image. So we're just going to ink up our stamp, and we're just going to randomly stamp along the Granny Apple Green. And just turn that. And there we go. And now I am going to close this up. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to adhere this on our card base. And I know that this is going to be a little bit long, so that right at the bottom, I'm not going to add any adhesive because I'm going to be cutting that off. But this way I know that I have, it's going to fit just fine. Now I'm going to open up my card base, and then I'm going to just go ahead and line this up. And I have it lined up here and here. Press it down. And then I can bring in my snips. And I can just snip off that extra. And then this fits perfectly. So I'm going to lay that aside. And I'm going to bring in Cajun Craze layer. And this is cut at 3 1/4 by 5. And then I'm going to bring in Petal Pink, which is cut at 4 3/4 by 3. And I'm going to layer those together. So again, I'm going to bring in my adhesive. And we'll just line that up and get it even. Sometimes I have to kind of pick it up and look at it to make sure that it's even. And then we're going to add this to our card base. So I'll bring in our card base, and we are going to place it right here. And now we're ready to lay this aside and do some stamping. I have a layer of basic white, and this is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. And this is what we're going to do some stamping on. So I'm going to bring that evening evergreen back in. And we're going to bring in our tree. Well, I think I am going to make a card with this, but I think I grabbed the wrong stamp. So give me just 1 second. I purposely moved this stamp so I wouldn't get it confused, but I moved the wrong one. So you have that sometimes. So now I'm going to go ahead and ink up our, so Jenny, you like how both sides aren't exactly the same and how you, yes, and how I trimmed it. Well, sometimes I just think it's easier that way. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on the card. But I'm going to go ahead and ink this up again, and I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to stamp off again, and then I'm going to stamp on. And then the next time I'm going to do full strength, because I want the one kind of in the middle to be full strength. And then I'm going to ink up with the evergreen with my stamp again, and I'm going to stamp off. And I'm going to stamp off one more time. And I'm going to put this one up just a little bit higher and press straight down and straight up. And then I'm going to add one more tree, and I'm just going to stamp off once, and I'm going to put that down a little bit. And there we go. We have our trees. And now we are going to add a little bit using the Cajun Craze. We're going to add, use this image here that I'm really not sure what that is, but we're going to add some Cajun Craze. It'll kind of go with our layer. And I'm going to stamp off, and one more time off. And then I'm going to stamp. I'm going to turn it around so those two little lines there are going to go on the left. I don't think it really matters. And then I'm going to stamp over here. And there we go. Okay. Now we are going to be using some Wink of Stella in just a little bit. I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to bring in our strip. Now you can use Granny Apple Green or Real Red, or you could use Evergreen, Evening Evergreen. So I have our Merry Christmas. I'm going to go ahead and stamp it in the Real Red. And then I'm going to take my snips and I am just going to cut around this. Now I have one already ready, but you can just take your snips and just cut right around. That way it'll separate them. And you can do this with any sentiment to give a different look. So I have one here already finished. Merry Christmas. And I also have one in Evergreen, in Evening Evergreen. So you can decide which one that you think that you like the best. So let's bring in our card base, and we are going to bring in our layer with our trees, and we are going to pop this up with dimensionals. And then we'll decide whether we want to use the Real Red or the Evening Evergreen for our sentiment. I may need some help with that. So be thinking which one that you think that you would like the best. I'm going to put one right down here. So let me take these backings off. Bring in our card base, and we're going to kind of center that right in the middle. Get that even. And then what do you think? Do you think we should do Merry Christmas? I have a couple to show you that I have already made. So we finish this card, I'll have a couple more to show you, and one's totally different color. So we have Real Red, or we have the Evening Evergreen. I don't think that's enough of a contrast, so I think we want to use the Real Red. So we're going to go ahead and pop up, and I'm going to use the mini dimensionals to pop up our sentiment. And then we'll add this to the front of our card. Then we'll have to add some Wink of Stella and some embellishments. Get the backings off. Okay, the backings wanted to stay with us. Okay, so we're going to put Merry about right here. And bring in Christmas. And we'll line that up. That looks like that little dimensional showing. So we'll just move it up a little bit, right? It's all good. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in our Wink of Stella. And we are going to pull this off. And it says push to get some, and I think that I already have some ready. So we are just going to add some little sparkle on our pine trees. And it just makes it look like there's snow. Gives it a little bit of sparkle and adds to our card. And I don't know how much of the sparkle that you can see on camera, but there is sparkle. And then I want to bring in these cute stars, and these cute star adhesive back sequins are on page 51 in the mini July through December catalog. And I thought they would be perfect. I'm going to bring my take your pick tool and to add some little stars on our card. And I think I'll put one right on our little tree here. How's that sound? And then we'll add one more over here. And then I have some mini, the red ruffled ribbon. And I don't know if we want to, we could add this right here. We could add it on our card over here, like right there. Or we could just leave it plain. I think I'm going to leave it plain. So this is the card that we made today. Merry Christmas. Here is another card that I made. And it's the same, except I used Granny Apple Green for the Merry Christmas, whereas here I used Rail Red. And then a third card, I used a different sentiment. I used It's Friends Like You That Make the Season So Wonderful. And I used the Petal Pink and polished Petal Pink cardstock, and then polished pink for the ink. And then I used polished pink for the trees and Costa Cabana and Daffodil Delight. So let me know which card that you like the best. And remember that you can use this layout with any card, which is really what is so great about this stamps, this layout is that you can use it with, with any card at all, and it works really well. And please check out my blog at rusticbarncards.com for more card ideas. And if you need a catalog, contact me and I'll send you the annual and the mini catalog. I really appreciate you watching. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards, and I go live at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and I share a video on Friday on YouTube. And on my Tuesday live at 1, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. So I hope you'll catch me, subscribe, follow me, and you'll be notified when I go live. Again, thank you for watching and have a great week.